Well, everyone, there's been a little bit of a thing I've been doing probably for my whole entire life, and that's buying used products. And every single year, I talk about essentially my plan of which products I buy and how I buy my products. And every single year, I see myself dwindling down from going through multiple different websites to pretty much only going through one specific website, which is eBay. Anytime I buy any used product for the most part, it is through eBay. Now, I do go certified refurbished sometimes too, which sometimes I go through Amazon or Apple, but most of the time, even that case, I only do those for videos. And there are very rare occasions where I will go ahead and buy a certified refurbished product over a used product on eBay just because of the price tag. So that's always one thing to keep in mind. Now, the way I buy these products is essentially first, I see the budget and the money that I have essentially set aside to how much I can go ahead and afford when purchasing a device. So for every pretty much $50 to $100 that you can go ahead and save for another device, you can actually pretty much pick up the next generation of device above that. So whether that's going from an iPhone 11 to an iPhone 12 in some cases, or whether that's going to something like an iPhone 11 to an iPhone 11 Pro. Consistently the most flagship phone that you can buy the year prior, so for this year, you can relatively buy the cheaper version of that phone next year. So if you can afford an iPhone 11 Pro right now, you may be able to also buy an iPhone 12 around that same price tag. So that's always one thing to kind of keep in mind. See how much you have saved up. If you have essentially about a $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 saved up, well, that's a lot of money to go ahead and set aside for a different device. So what I will pretty much do is go ahead and see how much I have. Let's say I have $200 saved up. Well, I will go ahead and start brainstorming some devices I can go and pick up. Now, if you have no idea which devices you can go and buy, what I used to do was go to eBay. I would go ahead and type in iPhone, and I would go ahead and just see which specific products pretty much came up. So when I go and type in iPhone, I would go ahead and see things like, iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPhone 8, and I would essentially kind of get a gauge to see, sorting by the lowest prices for the fully functional iPhones, how much each iPhone is. So I'll typically go to buy it now, and I'll pretty much just go and see what iPhones are selling for around that, let's say $150, $200 price tag. Now, in my specific case, looking through these specific devices, it looks to me that around that $150 to $200 price tag, I can pretty much afford something around the lines of an iPhone 8 Plus to an iPhone 10 in some cases, but that's pretty much the range that I have. So I think that's one thing you always have to look for. See how much you have to spend, and then go ahead and see, which iPhones you can go and pick up for those price tags. Now, another thing I do every single time is to verify the pictures and the IMEI numbers. Anything you can do from the seller standpoint, verify that those phones are fully functional. I've been stung so many times when purchasing a used product. I just would sometimes just quickly want to buy something. It looks like a good deal. I don't verify anything. And I just go ahead and just buy it. And I get sent a phone that probably doesn't even work. I've been sent phones that don't turn on. I've been sent phones that have, that were blacklisted, that had Apple IDs connected to them. And sometimes you may want to buy a phone like that if you don't really care. But if you want to buy a functional phone, you really need to go and do your due diligence. So you want to click on the phones, you want to look through all of the products, the different pages that they have, the different pictures that they have, but you also want to make sure that the phone they have listed is the proper phone in the pictures. There's been times people would put an iPhone 6S as an iPhone 6, and that would be kind of like a deal. But some people would put in like, hey, I'm selling my iPhone 8, but it's actually an iPhone 7. There's a really big difference between those two phones. Sometimes they'll sell an iPhone XR, but they'll claim it's like an iPhone 11. There's been lots of things like that. So make sure the products that they're selling are proper with the pictures. It's another big thing that I've seen a lot, for many, many years now. I've seen that happen a lot of different times. On top of that, another thing you can do is to see if you can get any serial numbers of those devices, anything along those lines, and you may be able to actually go ahead and, maybe see if those are blacklisted. If they are, I probably wouldn't recommend going near them. But if they aren't, well, then that can put you in a little bit of a better situation where you may not get a lemon. Now, on top of that, eBay does have a pretty decent policy. Now, you don't have to go to eBay. You can go to any website. But a lot of these websites have decent policies where if something goes wrong, you can just go ahead and, put in a claim, and you can most of the time return it, and you'll pretty much get your money back. But it is a very annoying process. I hate having to do that every single time, and it wastes so much time. So it's kind of another inconvenience, but I think at the end of the day, this is pretty much how I go ahead and buy any used iPhones in this day and age. It's not a crazy thorough process, but because I've been doing it for so long, this is pretty much my go-to way. I kind of stay away from Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, different things like that, just because I don't want to meet up with anybody. I just want to go and get sent the phone and move on. So that's why I usually go with eBay. I think Amazon and Apple Certified Refurbished are also pretty good sources too, but that's pretty much how I buy used iPhones in this day and age. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that means so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly, everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.